Okay, so let's talk about why you're anxious. You are human, and humans live on this planet Earth in society. And as a society, there's this thing that we have created, which is expectations. And generally, those expectations are placed upon you by your family, by your culture, by your religion, by the specific place on earth that you were born. For instance, if you're born in Ireland, you're probably going to have a different culture and belief system and way of being than if you were born in Africa. And if you were born in Spain, you have a different set of mannerisms, language, culture, religion, parenting, education than somebody who was born in Thailand. The earth is big and it's full of humans of different ages, of different sizes, of different colors, of different shapes, different rules, different laws, different ways of being, different fashion senses, different languages, different foods, different mannerisms, and all of that gets packaged into this bucket and list of do's and don'ts and ways to be and expectations that you are pressured to sometimes fit into. You gotta be fit, be a great partner, have a house, have a degree, make $1 million by the time you're 15, wake up early, drink water, pay the bills, be a great partner, accomplish your goals, do this, do that. Never leave the dishwasher full of dishes. Go to school and get good grades, and then go to college, and then graduate college and get married, and then buy a house. And yeah, you know the drift. Given these societal expectations, it's only natural that you would feel anxiety, pressure to fit in, pressure to be liked, pressure to have a certain amount of money, pressure to wear certain clothes, because if you don't wear the clothes that the cool kids wear, then apparently you're not cool. And yeah, expectations. And all of these expectations lead to a natural feeling of anxiety, a natural feeling of angst, a natural feeling of pressure, a natural feeling of not being good enough, a feeling of always needing to do something, to prove something, to get something, to then be okay. All of this pressure, societal pressure, cultural pressure, pressure from parents, pressure from family, pressure from the media, pressure from everywhere, we then feel like we must become something to be okay. We start to feel this uneasiness around who we currently are and whether or not we measure up, whether or not we're okay, whether or not my weight is okay, whether or not my looks are okay, whether or not the amount of money I have is okay. Do I have the right car? Do I have the house? Or have this? Or have pressure, expectations? Do and have and get, because once you do and be and have and get, then you can be okay. And all of this pressure leads to then this discomfort, this feeling of unease, this anxiety to perform, this anxiety to be accepted, this anxiety to have things be the way that society wants them to be so that I could be okay. And that, my friend, is the recipe for remaining anxious, remaining unsatisfied from an internal level, and thinking that we need these external accolades, this external performance, this external thing to fix an internal issue of uneasiness. And so combine that with maybe a poor diet, right? If we are not eating the best foods, if we are caffeinated and we are not taking great care of our bodies, then it's the perfect environment for anxiety to thrive, because our physical health is not operating at its optimal, because we might not be feeding our bodies with the best foods. And if we're not feeding ourselves with good, healthy foods, then our bodies are not operating at its optimal. And if we're not getting enough sleep, if we're not exercising, then it's like we create a toxic environment from the inside where we're not eating well, we're not exercising, we're not sleeping well, and then combine that with all the external pressures, that is the recipe for feeling anxious. Not taking care of our bodies, not taking care of our health, not exercising, not sleeping well, and then the cherry on top, the real cherry, is like the negative thinking, the expectations, the fear, the doubts, the worries, the pressure, the, oh, you gotta look a certain way and get the, you know? So I invite you, my dear, to take a moment to breathe and center and ground yourself into the present moment. And as Eckhart Tolle says, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. Eckhart Tolle is a wonderful spiritual teacher, and he has this book called The Power of Now, and he does so many great teachings on how to truly live from this moment and realizing how truly we're ever only in the present moment. And this is where we need to find joy and peace and happiness in the moment. Finding that sense of being okay from inside, from being embodied and okay with who you are, not because of what you have and not because of some external accomplishment, which I know is hard to do. But the key is you can still accomplish your goals. You can still go out there and create the life that you desire, but it doesn't have to be from this place of pressure, this place of expectation, this place of all of this input of what you need to look like and what you need to wear and what you need to have in order to be okay. Because you buy the purse gets old, and then you're just going to need another purse, another shoe, another this, another that, another house. You buy the house gets a leak, your neighbor has a bigger house. Now you realize, okay, I've achieved these external things. I've got the degree, I've got the house, I've got the husband, I've got the car, but I'm still anxious. I'm still not okay. And that's because the expectations are never going to end. The external world is always going to be needing your attention. There's always going to be more to do, more to get. You clean the house today, you got to clean the house again in 2 days. You make the bed, you got to make the bed again tomorrow. You wash the dishes are going to get dirty again. You wear your clothes, the clothes are going to get dirty again. So the external is always going to be changing. It's always going to be demanding more of you. So if we place our sense of peace on some external thing, we're doomed to fail, because the external is always going to be changing. There's always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be more demands. You're going to accomplish something and there's always going to be another goal. So we can't live from the outside in. We got to change the equation and live from the inside out, and get really clear on what are the expectations that are of value to you. Not because of what culture, societal timelines, or anybody else. Do you want a house because you want a house, or do you want a house because you think you need to keep up with the Kardashians? Do you want a car because you want a car, or because you think you need to have a car to prove something to somebody? Do you want this degree because you want that degree, or are you getting the degree because you're trying to prove something to your family or to your friends, or to keep up, or to just do what everybody else is doing because that's what you think you have to do? Truly sit with yourself and get clear on what it is that you want because you want it, not because of what the world is telling you that you need to have. But really, ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Am I doing what I'm doing because of my true desire to do this, or am I doing this because I'm trying to prove something? I'm trying to fill in a void. I'm trying to remove this feeling of not enoughness, and I think that if I make more money, then I'm gonna stop feeling like I'm not enough. That chase for the external is gonna keep you in a never-ending chase. But if we can nurture ourselves from the inside out, then everything that we achieve becomes no longer to fill a void. It doesn't become to try to prove something, but it becomes a true act of joy, a true act of desire. Creating from your joy, creating because you want to create this specific outcome. Really getting clear on your values and what's important to you. What's important to you because you believe it's important. And then cultivating a sense of peace from within. Hi, Kona. Kona, you want to go for a walk? Go potty? So we're going to conclude here. In conclusion, what are you telling yourself every day? Are you feeding that inner critic that's telling you, you gotta do this, you gotta blah, 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 blah. Are you cultivating a more gentle approach, a more gentle, compassionate inner voice that supports you, that is on your side, that wants to see you win? And so cultivating more of that. And keeping anxiety at bay by no longer trying to focus on the expectations on the outside, but really focusing on the inside. Let go of the expectations. Get clear on your own values. What's important to you? And cultivate that sense of peace from within. And from that space, go out there and create what's important to you. Not to try to prove anything to anyone or the world, but really to cultivate a life that truly brings you joy from the inside out. All right, that's all we have for today. Boy. Oh, yeah. Kona, you want to go for a walk?